when I get sent things super early, I just feel like a secret spy. I don't know what it is. It's like I have insider information. And today I can finally tell you all about the Odens Eye Christmas palettes. So the palette that I'm wearing today, I'm going to be reviewing is the Silvery Bliss eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be swatching everything. I'm going to be doing this eye look. I'm going to be telling you all my thoughts. They have also come out with the Rosy Jingle eyeshadow palette, which I will be reviewing very, very soon. So stay tuned for this if you are interested. But this is the one that I wanted to play with first because it's very much more me. It's very, very smoky, a little bit darker, a little bit more grungy, and I just really, really want to put this on my eyes. Also, I am wearing clothes. I'm wearing my fluffy hoodie just pulled down because I always have a black t-shirt in the studio with me for when my outfit doesn't quite match. Don't know where it's gone. So we're having to make do with this today. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think we can do it. I love bright, fun, colorful makeup. I love reviewing makeup, reviewing eyeshadow, doing beautiful looks like I've done today. If that sounds like a good time to you, then definitely stay tuned because I have a lot more goodies coming your way. I'm so excited. I love this little community that I've built here, and I hope that it continues to grow. So before we do the eye look, I am gonna swatch, which I'm so excited for. I do have a towel with me, which is a good step. I always forget a towel, but not today. I'm so profesh today. So this is what the palette looks like inside. I did do a close-up shot before I got my grubby fingers in this. Mine does not look this pristine right now, but it is a beautiful, grungy, deep red Christmas palette. I think this can also double as a Halloween palette as well, but Halloween has literally just passed, so we're a little bit late. But if you're into these like smoky, grungy looks for Christmas, this is the one for you. So this is the palette. You would have seen a close-up. So pretty. Let's dig in. I will pop a timestamp on screen if you just wanted to see the eye look. If you wanted to skip the swatches, that's fine. I understand. Go for it. But I know some people love to see the swatches, so let's jump into this. So first shade is Wishful Dream, which is a pastel pink. And I'm just going to swatch. I do have some swatch stains here because I did do a shorts swatching this. So that is what that shade looks like. Really, really pretty. A really nice blending out shade for some reds. Next we have Silver Stream, which is a white to pink iridescent. And the pink shift on this is so strong. Put that there. Super shimmery as well. You can definitely see that is stunning. Next is Cocoa Milk. I love chalky milk. And this is definitely the most neutral shade in the palette. So if you were just after something a little bit more neutral, then this is the shade for you. Pop that there. I'm going to try not to swatch too far down because, I mean, these are already a bit wonky, aren't they? That's nice. That is that shade, not too deep. So if you are more casual, that's perfect. Next, I have Golden Cup, which is a shade that I've used today. This is a brown to pink duochrome. And pop that there. That will go so well with that brown shade. Just a 2-shade look with those two. Really, really pretty. Next, we have the shade Vision, which is a black base with a super strong purple shimmer in it. And you could probably use this as like a really cool eyeliner. Very pretty. Next is Vintage Moments, which is kind of like a mid-toned red. We have 3 red mattes in the palette. This is the kind of middle shade. And we'll pop that there. Still very pigmented, very red. Just cleaned up that swatch a little bit. It went a little bit rogue there, but that is what that shade looks like. Super pretty. Next, this is the shade I have in my inner corner, and I love this so much. It is so pretty. This is the shade Pink Fantasy, and this is one of those marbled shades, and you can clearly see when you put this on the eyes, the pink and the silver sparkle. They don't just merge into one color, they stay separate, and I love that. So let's swatch that there. So gorgeous. Oh, look at that reflect. Next, we have a shade that I am wearing on my eyes today. This is the shade Chocolate Cake, and this is the deepest red matte in the palette. That is what that looks like. Reds are notoriously difficult to formulate, but all of these are so pretty. You can see from those swatches there, there's nothing wrong with them at all. Next, down to the third row, we're halfway there. This is the shade Softness, and this is kind of like a taupe, but with a slight pinky hue to it as well. You could definitely use this to blend out some of those reds, especially if you don't want it super intense like I'm wearing today. If you blended them out with this, it will just make them a little bit more subtle, a little bit less in your face. So that is a really beautiful shade to include in this palette. Next is a bit of me. This is the shade Silvery Bliss, and it's a beautiful taupe with a slight rosiness again. There's definitely a kind of rosy undertone even in the non-red shades of this palette, which I really, really like. I'll pop that there. That is so smooth. Look at how shiny that is. Oh, stunning. And again, a 2 shadow look with these two would be so beautiful as well. Next, we have the shade Pure Red, which is one of the shades that are on my eyes today. This is a pure red. You can see that. That is YouTube red. Look at that. Boom. Swatch that. That one doesn't swatch quite as well. It is a little bit more subtle. I don't really want to call a bright red subtle, but in comparison, it's a little bit more subtle. I have it as my last transition today and it works really, really well. It's not too much. Next is the center of this eye look. This is the shade Golden Glam. That is a super beautiful, wow, bright gold. That is so pretty. A really nice contrast to those reds as well. Next, we have Holiday Wishes, the first shade on the last row. This is definitely one of those more firmly pressed shimmers. This isn't one of those super like intense indie shimmers. This is a little bit more firmly pressed. You can see the difference between that gold and that red there. These shimmers almost look like they're on top of the formula, if that makes sense. Whereas this one is like just pure shimmer. This is a little bit more of a subtle look. Next, we have Reminiscence. Took me a minute there. My dyslexia went a little bit crazy on that one. This is a really, really smoky gray. And that is, I mean, the swatch of that was so intense. Oh, I love that. Love that so much. Look at that. Second to last, another very me shade. This is the shade Longing, and a silver shimmer, again, with almost like a rosy hint to it. That is what that one looks like. Very pretty. And then finally, one more shade. This is the shade New Year's End, and it's not a black, but it is a very deep gray. I know some people are a little bit scared of blacks, so maybe that is the shade for you. And of course, I did start this look with that shade today. So they are the swatches. I will give you a close-up of some swatches that I did as well, just in case you wanted to see in a little bit more detail. I hope that this kind of clears things up for you. I hope this lets you see things even more clearly. And then I also did a B-roll of some swatches under low light so you could really see that shimmer in them. I think this looks so beautiful. You can definitely see the shine and the sparkle and the beauty of this palette. Let me know, what's your favorite shade? All right, so now I'm gonna jump into this eye look and we're gonna just all be stunned and amazed by this palette. I have just wiped off an eye look, so I'm hoping that you can't see too much shimmer and glitter still on my eyes, but I'm hoping that when we put all of our makeup on today, that'll all be covered up. So today, I said in the intro, I'm sure you all know, I'm doing the Silvery Bliss palette. There are 2 palettes in this collection, and I'm filming with this one first because this one just speaks to me a bit more. This is a bit more grungy than the other one, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to play with this. I have a look in mind. I always say that, but as always, I don't know if it's going to come across in person as I have it in my brain. So we'll see. I think it's going to look good. I think. So, of course, because this is me, I'm going to go straight in with This isn't really a black, it's like a very, very dark grey. It's called New Year's End. And of course, this does have a mirror in it, so amazing. And I am gonna go, there is so much green glitter, I'm so sorry. We're gonna cover it up, it's fine. And I'm gonna go on the outer and inner part of the eye. It's definitely not a black, but it is still very, very deep. You can get a lot of depth with this. You know, I think I'm just gonna come all the way through the crease as well, but I'm keeping it quite tight. I'm not gonna go too far up. And meet on the other side. I mean, so far, so good, nothing wrong, very pigmented, it blends well. And I'm also gonna fill in this inner corner section here. I'm gonna do a bit of a halo eye today. Obviously, I love my black eyeshadows, but I know a lot of people do get a little bit scared of black eyeshadow, so maybe it's a good thing that this is a deep grey. It's maybe not as in your face and not as scary. Normally, I just go in to these eye looks completely blind, like I don't even swatch the palette or anything. But I've learned from my recent mistakes. I've actually swatched this palette prior to putting it on my eyes. I did do some shorts before I sat down to film today. So you know what? I actually have a bit of an idea of what's in this palette. That makes things a lot easier for me, let me tell you. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking smoky. I do think this is definitely more of like a Halloween color story than a Christmas color story. What do you think? I wish that I could have played with this during Halloween. I had this in my drawers during Halloween and I was like, it's the perfect palette to play with, but I could not show you. Next, I think I'm gonna go in with Chocolate Cake, which is this deep red shade here. And I'd be interesting to see if this does my pet peeve. My pet peeve with red eyeshadows is that they're secretly pinks. We'll see. Let's start blending that. Oh wow, that is pigmented straight off the bat. Look at that. And I'm just going to build up that pigment there a little bit, try and blend out. Sometimes I have started doing lightest to darkest. However, because I really want that smokiness and that intensity, today I have decided to go darkest to lightest. I think it just depends on the intensity that you want. It depends on how deep and smoky you want the look to be. But I mean, I'm happy with this so far. There we go. That's a really nice smoky red blend. You know what I think would look amazing in here? Like a deep maroon. Ooh, just picture that. So of course, I'm just using the same shade on the other eye, catching things up. Very pigmented shades as usual with Odens Eye. Okay, I feel like we're looking very dark and vampy. This is what I meant about like the Halloween vibe. I don't know, what do you think? So next I'm gonna go in maybe with Pure Red, which is this lightest red shade. And I'm just gonna use that to blend. I'm not gonna take too much. I am being quite careful. I know that red blends can get very intense very quickly. So I'm just using a very, very light hand just to blend out that edge. Okay, that worked really well. I'm gonna go back in with that black because I feel like we have developed a little bit of a harsh line. I'm not gonna go in with any more product, but I'm just gonna kind of buff that edge a little bit just to make it a bit less harsh. It doesn't take much. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of a push. And you can see the difference that made just on these two sides. Okay, so they are the mattes that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run off camera, cut the crease in the middle, and then we're gonna add some shimmers. Okay, if cutting the crease wasn't already an extreme sport, doing it with these lashes, impossible. One of the things I really don't like about reviewing new palettes is figuring out what shimmer I want to use because they're all so gorgeous. Part of me wants to put this gold in the center. I think that could be really cute, especially like for Christmas. But then a part of me also wants to do like these kind of pinky shades. I think I could do a pinky shade in the inner corner. So we're going to do, we're going to do that. We're going to go in with this shade, which is called Golden Glam. And this is so stunning. Let me pop that on the center of the lid. Yeah, I think that was a good idea. I'm definitely going to have to use a brush, not only for my lashes, but because of these nails. Oh, it works really well with a dry brush. So that's definitely really good. Okay, that shade is so sparkly and pretty. Look at that. Oh, I will blend it so it will look a little bit better, but for now, I'm loving that. Yeah, I think we made the right choice. Then I'm just gonna match it up on the other eye. I love Odens Eye shimmers so much. They are like proper indie, creamy, sparkly shades, and I love them. Okay, and I think to blend that gold in with the reds, I think I'm gonna go with Golden Cup, which is this shade. It's kind of like an in-between. So I hope this is gonna work. I'm not sure. We'll see together. Let's pop that on the outer corner there. I think I'm gonna have to use my finger. This is a bit more of a solid shade, so it's a little bit more difficult to work with a brush. But that definitely works to blend the two shades, I think. That looks good. What are we thinking? This is a really nice duochrome as well. It's got like a pink flip to it. I am just going to go in with a little bit more of New Year's End, which is that super dark grey that we started with. And I am just going to deepen the outer and inner corners again, just because I feel like a bit of that pigment was swept away. But other than that, I think we've done pretty good. And then on the lower lash line, I'm just going to do the exact same thing that we did on the upper lash line, or the crease upper lash line. What? The reason that I didn't do this before is because, as I said, I have just wiped off a look and I just didn't want my eyes to get all leaky. I just wanted to give my eyes a little bit of time to reset because I really don't want this look just coming off in tears. Okay, so I just did New Year's End, which is the dark blacky grey. Then I did Chocolate Cake, which is this deeper red, and then Pure Red, which is the lighter red. This is what we look like. I'm really happy with this so far. So on the inner corner, it's either one of these. I think this lighter pinky shade, which is Pink Fantasy. This one, let's do it. And I'm gonna pop that on the inner corner. That's stunning. You can really see the different like reflex in that. It's like bitty almost. It's got some pinks and some silvers in there. And they don't like merge together like a lot of them do. They stay separate. So you can just see this like dance of different colors. Wow. Okay, let me do the finishing touches and then we'll sign out. I literally keep a black t-shirt here for when my eyeshadow doesn't match my clothes. Can I find it? No. So the fluffy hoodie is gonna have to do. Please try and ignore it. It's not my most fashionable outfit in the world, but I don't know where my black t-shirt is. So this is the final look. What do we think? I think it's so cute. I love this. I was a little bit nervous when I saw the color story because it isn't really something that I reach for that often, like these super warm tones. I'm very excited to play with these like grays though. I was gonna do a red lip, but I thought that's a little bit much. So I used Fenty Pink Dragonfly, and I think this is a nice little look. What do we think? I will say something that I thought about this the moment that I saw it. It reminds me a lot of the Beauty Bay Reckless Romance palette. Definitely similar vibes going on. I feel like the Odens Eye is a little bit more saturated, but yeah, if you missed out on the Reckless Romance, now is your time. Now is your time because this is no longer available. So very similar. If you want to see like a dupe shorts, definitely let me know. As always, the formula of Odens Eye is absolutely beautiful. I really, really love this look. It came together so well. I don't normally do red looks, but you know what? I'm in the theme. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I'm still not ready for Christmas, but here we are. This is a really nice palette if you're into this color story, if you're into those indie duochrome, super intense shades. I think this is a wonderful buy, and thank you so much to Odens Eye for sending this over in PR. Forever grateful. Thank you so much. So this is it. This is the end of this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, definitely like and subscribe. I will have the other palette coming very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, this is the end of this video and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.